Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm Zach Bramante with the Bramante Brothers YouTube channel. A lot of new subscribers are swinging by and we really appreciate it. So we thought we'd go over in this video some of our off-grid essentials and how we live here in the Alaska bush. This video in no way is the baseline for off-grid living anywhere around the world. It's just a video about us personally. I hope you enjoy. We're gonna hit a couple basics: water, heat, and electricity. So let's get going with this episode.
We're gonna haul water, and we've got Emma to help us.
Wasn't supposed to distract you.
I know for our faithful that have watched us, you're like, why didn't Joe dig a well this year? I really wanted to. We were so busy this summer that it wasn't possible. So that means Zach and I have to haul water off the lake for one more winter. I'm going to try my darndest to get it done next year. But until then, uncover the old beast, hook up the old sled, put the totes in, and head down to the lake and start hauling water.
All right, down here at the lake, we're gonna chop a hole in the ice. Joe already has once or twice already, just to keep that ice thinner than the rest of the ice. The ice forming around the dock is going on about 3 inches thick. So yesterday he went down and chopped a hole to kind of just make that a little more thin.
All right, so while Zach shovels off the dock, we don't want to pack that snow down and create a slipping hazard for us. The reason we're hauling water off the dock this time is we can get out to a deeper spot and dip buckets down and make sure we're getting real clean water. We're not getting crap off the bottom. When the ice gets a little bit thicker, we want it to be about 4 inches before we actually make our way out on the ice with a snowmobile or a snow machine. And then we can start making our water hole and maintaining that throughout the winter. But for now, we're gonna haul it off the dock.
We can't haul water off the dock all winter because it actually freezes solid right here. So like Joe was saying, we gotta go a lot deeper. I think this is safe enough to stand on. This is probably going on 3 or 4 inches thick, so. Oh. Looks more impressive if I get the snow out of the way. All right, I think we're ready.
All right, so like I talked about, when we have our water hole out on the lake, when we can drive our snow machine out there, we're using a generator and a submersible pump to do this chore right here. The reason we're not doing that right here is because it's babysitting the pump, keeping it off of the bottom, because if that pump hits the bottom, which is only 3 feet down here, it starts picking up all the crap off the bottom, making our water incredibly dirty. So we're just gonna do it the manual way for now, and when we get the water hole out in the middle of the lake put in, then we'll start using the generator and the pump again. We're gonna fill my cabin up. I've got my holding tank in the crawl space, and it's about a 100-gallon tank. It's not completely empty, so what I have in the totes here should fill it. That takes care of my cabin.
All right, now that we got Joe's house filled, I gotta go up the ladder and fill mine. Joe, like he said, his holding tank is in the crawl space. Mine is up in the rafters. So today I'm in the woodshed gathering some wood, as most people off-grid and even just living in the suburbs do still burn wood. Some people can go buy it at the front of a gas station. Some people take their pickup truck, throw a chainsaw in the back, and head off into the woods. For us, it's a little different and pretty labor intensive and really unique to our situation. We rely heavily on our snowmobiles to get us down into the forest. Our location here is above tree line. We have to go down into tree line and gather the wood. It's easiest for us to do it in the early spring months of February and March. The snow is really set up hard and our snowmobiles can go literally anywhere. We can get next to the really nice trees that we need fall them, buck them up, and load them into our sleds and haul them home. If we were to do that in the summer, it would be next to impossible. So doing it in the winter is imperative to our warmth in our houses up here. So once we come back, offload everything, stack it into big piles of logs. Sooner or later, it's gonna look like this, stacked up high in our woodshed. Our woodshed is about, I would say, 15 feet by 15 feet. It seems to get the lodge and Joe and Bonnie's cabin by through the winter without depleting about the last 3 rows. And so, you know, that's kind of our emergency reserve in case either of us got hurt. If snowmobiles went down and we had to repair a bunch of stuff. Joe and I were from a family in Montana that burned firewood for, I would say, primary heat. My family had propane as secondary on the super cold nights, but my dad loved to burn firewood. We grew up splitting and stacking. The cool thing about Montana was that the larch trees and the fir trees split a lot easier, and you could get a heck of a lot more firewood out of one tree. The white spruce that we have here in South Central Alaska are pretty twisted and knotted up and very small. So it takes Joe and I about, I don't know, maybe 40 trees by the time a season is all said and done. We got to cut down at least 30 or 40 trees, which, you know, it's kind of the silver lining to the spruce beetle infestation is that we have been able to just cut a bunch of seasoned dead trees that died about 3 years ago. So anyways, we don't have any secondary heat option at the lodge. There is no propane, there is no natural gas. So we go through quite a bit of wood every winter. So that's our heat source. A lot of you are probably familiar with it. It's not exclusive to off-grid living, but it is our primary heat source. And we work hard for every single one of these pieces of wood that gets brought into the house. Joe and I are here actually with the tripod right there shooting a tutorial on how to change the oil in this bad boy. So we thought we'd throw up a simple tutorial on how to change the oil. So Joe did a good job. I think we wrapped up that segment, but we were just talking about, you know, the simple way that we provide power for our family. 2 different ways. There's a solar panel up on top of the lodge. It's really old, it's archaic, and we would love to, hopefully soon, get some better solar panel system up here, get a nice bank of batteries, and get all sorts of bells and whistles to actually be a little more independent when it comes to that. But in due time, we're saving up money for that project, and we will definitely bring you along for that. But you guys who followed us for years know that that solar panel helps us charge laptops and smartphones, and you know, kind of helps us run the business. Here at Caribou Lodge, I'm always on my phone or the laptop answering emails and working on stuff like that. But the main generator here, that is our main power source. And we have a couple Honda 2000s that we pull out every once in a while to do smaller projects. They're more mobile, not near as heavy. So we can bring them to, say, move them to a cabin so we can plug in a sander and, you know, refinish the deck or something like that. But this Honda 3000 does everything we need it to do. It goes above and beyond what we need it for. We actually run a cord. This green cord right here runs all the way past the greenhouse and the compost pile all the way down to Joe and Bonnie's cabin. Man, Joe's busy working. He just going for it. I thought he was gonna talk. Joe's always talking. Now this is like the only time not talking. We're doing laundry or something like that. We power everything. We power the lodge, the Joe and Bonnie's cabin, and the shop, because that one generator recharges all of our batteries when the solar isn't getting a charge. On a day like this, the solar is getting a little bit of a charge, but as we go into winter, November and then December, we start closer to the solstice. We're going to get about 4 hours of daylight on a good day with no clouds in the sky, that's not enough to really charge much. So the generator gets used a lot more in the winter.
The sun, it just peaks up above the southern horizon there for about 4 to 4.5 hours. And it can be a beautifully clear day right above us, but there's some clouds hanging low, like over Anchorage in the valley. And we won't see the sun all day. We'll see the effects of the sun, but that's not enough to charge a solar panel. So
yeah,
it's slim pickings in the wintertime.
Yeah, we'd like to upgrade our solar, and in a way, the newer, better technology is going to suck more power from the sun, even on cloudy days.
For sure.
This old goat up there on top of the roof, it ain't doing much on cloudy days. So that's definitely on our wish list for sure.
We're also wanting to diversify. We're not sure the probability of this, but in the summer we get tons of sun. In the winter, we do get a fair amount of wind. And I know that turbine energy has come a long ways in the last 10, 15 years. So we're going to look into that a little bit too, to diversify our renewable power options out here. So
yeah, we get a lot of wind. That's true. Maybe we'll do a part 2 on this video. Joe and I were talking about a lot more off-grid essentials that we need living out here in the bush of Alaska. In today's episode, I hope you guys enjoyed us covering water, power, and heat. And yeah, we'll come back. Maybe we'll make a part 2 to this video. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
See you guys.
Bramante Brothers.
You're doing it with your head? Yeah. That's a great job. Push it with your head. That's the best way to get rid of a tarp. Is it working?
No.
We can get out into the water further, a deeper depth. We can get out to a deeper depth. How would you say that? We can get out to a deeper spot.
A lot of new subscribers. Hey everybody, thanks for